Hey, it's Zane. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk about why you should pray for dips but do not rely on them. Pray for dips but do not rely on them. You know, every day is a good day in Bitcoin. It really doesn't matter what the price, which I like to refer to as exchange rate, which I'll explain to you in a moment. But no matter what it is doing, I think every day is a great day in Bitcoin. Now, right now, there are people out there who are getting a little bit discombobulated because guess what? Bitcoin's price, exchange rate, over the past month is down by about 6-7%. However, when you zoom out and you look at the year to date, what do you notice? You notice that Bitcoin's price, exchange rate, is up by about 80%. And so this is the problem with people. This is the problem with the world. This is the problem with the mindset of investors. They, for whatever reason, look at these short-term price movements and they panic. They question their conviction. And so there's a faction of people out there right now who have bought Bitcoin in the last, month, maybe 30 days ago or so, and, they might be down 6-7%, and so they're questioning everything. But you have to understand that Bitcoin is an asset that rewards low time preference. It's a discipline, it's a mindset. It forces you to learn, to study, to grow your knowledge, to understand how the financial system works, to develop your own conviction. And so if you're paying attention to short-term price movements and that's concerning you, then it means you need to go back to work on Bitcoin. Proof of work. That is what the Bitcoin protocol is built upon, proof of work. And it asks you every single day to go back to work. It challenges you. It continually motions you to further your knowledge and your conviction, to further your work. I never stop my work learning on Bitcoin. I never stop it because I know that now I've come to realize that it's part of my duty to help share the message of Bitcoin. And so if you're panicking, if you're stressed, if you're anxious, if you're not sure whether you've made a right decision, you just have to do more study. It's as simple as that. When you look at a Bitcoin price chart since January 2009, and I'd highly encourage you to do this, what you see is crystal clear. Bitcoin's price trajectory is like that. It's up and to the right forever. Does it have pullbacks? Of course it does. Can we see 15, 20, 25, 30, 40% pullbacks in a bull cycle, in a 4-year cycle? Of course we can. We've seen them in the past and we'll probably see them again. But does that mean you should panic or stress or throw the baby out with the bathwater? Of course not. It just means that you need to do more work on Bitcoin. You need to zoom out. You need to remember that Bitcoin is designed to reprice everything over time, not overnight, over time. And so you've just simply got to lower your time preference and get on with your life and just keep stacking. Every time there's an opportunity, every time there's a pullback, every time there's an opportunity for you to exchange your decaying, filthy, worthless, inflationary dollars for Bitcoin, that is a damn good day. That is a day you should be celebrating. And I don't care what the exchange rate is. There is going to come a time where you will not be able to exchange your worthless, filthy, disgusting, pathetic dollars for Bitcoin. There will come a time where you won't be able to do that. So please change your mindset, change your perspective, and be very, very grateful that you have that opportunity, that window right now. Forget the exchange rate. And when I talk about exchange rate, what I mean is that a lot of people get fixated on Bitcoin at a price It's not a price. Bitcoin's price, if you want to call it a price, is going up and to the right forever. Think of it in terms of exchange rate. I mean, if you're going overseas to Bali or to Europe or whatever it might be, you don't fixate over what the exchange rate is. You just exchange your dollars for euros or for rupiah if you're going to Bali or whatever it might be, and away you go. And you don't really think too much more of it. So how about doing the same when you exchange your worthless fiat currency, which is only going to become worth less and less and less and less over time? History shows us that. In fact, history shows us that every single fiat currency eventually goes to zero. And when you price it in Bitcoin over the long term, that's exactly what you're seeing. And Bitcoin is designed to do that. So, every day is a good day in Bitcoin. There are people who, when Bitcoin's price is surging, they say, I've missed the boat, I'm too late. And then they're the very same people who, when Bitcoin's price is falling, they're saying, see, I told you so, this thing's going to zero. Pathetic people who have done no work on this whatsoever. They have no idea what they're talking about. So please, you're way smarter than that. Zoom out, understand that Bitcoin is a discipline. It is imposing itself on a broken system. It is an adolescent asset. It's only 16 years old. Anything that's 16 years old, believe me, because I've raised 3 kids who've been through their teens, anything that is 16 years old is going to be volatile. But guess what? Volatile things eventually mature. And volatility is the price of admission for life-changing wealth. If there was no volatility in Bitcoin, you wouldn't have the opportunity to accelerate your wealth in a far superior way than you can with any other asset class. I mean, Bitcoin's historical growth rate tells the story. It's not made up, it's facts and reality. If you look at Bitcoin's compound growth rate over the past 10 years, it's about 80%. Your superannuation's doing about 7.5%. So, I mean, which one would you prefer to be in? It's quite simple. Real estate, in a really scarce, desirable area, maybe in the past 10 years it's done 15 to 20%, maybe. But you and I both know that the number of people that are able to own scarce desirable real estate, and I'm really talking about, harbourfront, beachfront, inner city, it's a very, very small faction of society, but those people have a whole other host of problems coming their way because all of their assets are exposed to the central control system. That's another conversation, not for today. So I want you to pray for dips, but don't rely on them. Now, before I share this with you, if you need to book a call with me, please don't sit on the fence. Please look for the link in the show notes below. Book a session with me. You'll get tremendous value from it, tremendous clarity, confidence. You'll know exactly what to do, the simple next best steps when it comes to acquiring Bitcoin, where to buy it in the most frictionless way, how to get yourself on the path to self-custody, which is the true revolution of Bitcoin, and then eventually on the path to self-sovereignty, where you are completely autonomous. And it's a process. It requires some steps. But yeah, if you book a session with me, I'll give you the pathway based on where you're at, and you'll get tremendous value from that. Look for the link in the show notes if you're interested in doing that and booking a call with me. So, I want to share these points with you real quick here today about why you should not worry about Bitcoin's price movement, exchange rate, whatever you want to call it. Timing the market is an absolute mug's game. When I first entered into Bitcoin, I think about 2-3 weeks after I deployed my first lump of capital, the Bitcoin price fell not by 6, 7, 8%. It fell by about 28%. But guess what? I didn't have one single bead of sweat on me because I knew my time horizon was at least 20 years from where I was back then. And so for me, it was simply an opportunity to buy Bitcoin at a discount. I was rejoicing. Any time that Bitcoin's price or exchange rate is in your favor, which means it's cheaper, that's a gift. That is an absolute gift. You should be out on the streets, high-fiving, partying. You should be so damn excited when Bitcoin's price dips, because that is an opportunity that I'm telling you is not going to be here forever. So you want to seize that opportunity. Seize that opportunity. Don't get down in the dumps about it. Celebrate it. Be grateful that you have the chance still. You are awake. You are paying attention to this. You have an opportunity to get your savings, your wealth, your capital, your superannuation, whatever it might be. You have an opportunity now that most people simply do not see. That should be celebrated. You have an opportunity to get that capital into something that is going to take care of you into the future. I hope I've made my point clear here today, because people who are worried about these price movements, honestly, I just have no time for it. Let me know what you think in the comments below if I'm resonating with you today. So, fear is the enemy of conviction. If you're buying into Bitcoin and you think you've done 10, 20 hours work on this, and you're continuing to do your work on this, and you're worried about a 6% price dip, you've just got to keep working. That's really what I'm saying. You know, you cannot come into this asset class with fear. You have to come into this asset class with hope, with vision, with future focus. That's what this is all about. You have to be bold, you have to have belief, and you have to be methodical, stoic, disciplined, and strategic. That's what you have to be. So Bitcoin is a mindset. And maybe this is why it resonates with me, because I spent many, many years doing martial arts. It's a discipline. It requires you to show up day after day after day, to apply yourself even on days when you don't feel like it. Why? Because you know that if there's a day where things don't go your way, you may be required to call on those skills. And Bitcoin is the same. We are preparing for the future. There may be a day where you are going to be required to call on that wealth that you have built for yourself. And so, you know, those Satoshis you've been stacking and securing in self-custody, you know, you're not doing it for today. You're doing it for preparations, because you can see that things aren't right. The world's not heading in the right direction financially. You can see the red flags, right? You know things are changing. And so you're not doing it for today. It doesn't matter what the price is doing today, because what are you going to do with that anyway? It's going to make zero difference to yourself. If I said to you, go and price your house today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, next week, next month, next year, you'd think I was absolutely insane. You'd think I was completely insane. You cannot price your house, because there's no price chart to price your house on a day-to-day basis. Because we've got a price chart where we're able to evaluate the world's most liquid asset and best performing asset, people think that they need to get fixated on that exchange rate. It's absolute madness. So volatility is the price of admission for life-changing wealth. Every dip is a gift. Every dip is a gift. Even if you don't have the capital to deploy, it's just an opportunity for you to take in a few big, deep breaths and just say to yourself, I'm so grateful I've seen the light before everyone else has. I'm so grateful I have one foot on the life raft. I'm so grateful that I woke up to this, that I understand what I'm doing. I'm so grateful that this opportunity, this monetary instrument, this decentralized protocol actually exists. Because I don't know about you, but we would be fucked if we didn't have Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin is just hope. It's just hope. It reinstills hope. So, if you buy Bitcoin on a down day, what are you doing? You're lowering your cost base. Okay, so if you bought it for 10%, 20%, 30% higher 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago, that's okay. Just take a couple of deep breaths, go again. Today you're buying it at a lower exchange rate. And so over time, all you're really doing is you're averaging out your cost base. It's called dollar cost averaging. And when you have a long time horizon, honestly, it works for you. And you know, when you zoom out and you try to look at a price chart that's got a 10, 20, 30% correction on it, in 5 years' time, you're going to look back at that, and it's just going to be a blip. It's going to be such a small adjustment in that graph, you just won't even notice it. Do you really think in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time, whether you paid, 120,000 USD or 110,000 USD for Bitcoin, or 100,000 USD or 90,000, do you really think it is going to matter? I mean, you know where this is going. You know where this is going. It's going to make zero difference to your life. However, if you get spooked by short-term price movements, you're not going to take action. You're going to be paralyzed. You're going to be sitting on the fence. And then in 5 years' time and in 10 years' time, you're going to be saying to yourself, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I should have been paying attention to this. I should have been taking action. I should have been breathing deeply and leaning into this, being bold, being brave, being future focused, and doing the work. So I went on a bit of a tangent, but I hope you got how I'm feeling today from this. And it's because I talk to people every single day. Every single day I talk to people. People book one-on-one calls with me, wonderful people from all walks of life. And there are people who say to me, Zane, I'm ready to do this right. I've made some mistakes. I've done this not the right way up until now, and I'm ready to do this right. I know this is the place to be. Please guide me. Please give me the simple next best steps. And I give tremendous clarity in a situation like that. And so that there we are. So just to wrap things up, pray for dips, but don't rely on them. That's really my message today. Every day is a good day in Bitcoin. If it's going up, it's great. If it's going down, it's great. I don't really care. I don't pay attention to the price movement of Bitcoin. There is so much more to be thankful for this asset class that I'm far more interested in terms of where all this is going and how it's repricing everything in the legacy system. I'm far more concerned about my kids, their future, people around me, people who have joined my Bitcoin Success Circle community, that growing community that I've got that is growing by the day now. We start our 6-week training next Tuesday night, and it's going to be awesome. Got some really, really awesome guests coming to contribute their wisdom as well. So anyway, this is where we are. It's an amazing time to be here, to be in Bitcoin. I'm so grateful for Bitcoin. I'm so grateful to be able to share what's on my mind with you. So grateful to have a community that is growing, a YouTube channel that is growing. Clearly my message is resonating. So I'm going to leave it there today. Please leave me your comments in the comments. If you haven't yet subscribed, one of the easiest ways to support what I'm doing is to hit subscribe. Less than 50% of you guys are subscribed to my channel. So please do that. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Hope you got some value today. This is Zane signing out. Bye for now.